is Jon Nieh, one of the partners at Trowbridge Law Group. And I'm here today to talk to you guys about cryptocurrencies. So, crypto coins, cryptocurrencies, tokens, kind of been in the news a lot the past couple weeks. The price of Bitcoin has reached an all-time high. I think it crossed over $50,000 for a single coin, which is kind of crazy. So, because of all this, I mean, it's kind of renewed interest in crypto, and a lot of people have been talking about, um, maybe using crypto or tokens in our industry in the syndication space. So the central question comes up is, are cryptocurrencies securities? And I mean, if you just type that into Google, you'll find a lot of articles out there that talk about the pros and cons of whether or not you want a crypto to be a security. Because if it is a security, then you're in the security realm, and you either have to register the security, the crypto coin, with the SEC, or find some sort of exemption. That's the general rule regarding securities, right? So obviously, a lot of people that want to utilize tokens, want to utilize crypto coins, they don't want to be in that realm. They don't want to have to register their securities or their cryptocurrencies with the SEC. So what exactly is a security, right? That's the threshold question. And luckily, there is a test out there called the Howey test that lets someone determine whether or not something counts as security. It's a four-part test. There's four elements. So it has to, you have to say yes to all four elements for the thing to qualify as a security. So the four elements are: it's investment of money in a common enterprise with the expectation of profits solely through the efforts of a promoter. So element one, investment of money. That's pretty self-explanatory. There has to be, um, you know, uh, some investment by the investor, right? So, typically when you think about it, it's cash. But oftentimes in the crypto space, when companies are doing, ICOs, initial coin offerings, oftentimes they'll accept coins as the initial investment. And in that case, the SEC has said, the investment of money, it doesn't just have to be cash. It could be anything of monetary value. So even if you're doing an ICO, even if you're doing a token offering where you're accepting other forms of payment, that could check that box, that first element, that, it's an investment of money. The second element, in a common enterprise, that just means there has to be a pooling of funds. So if it's a single investor, if you have if you have a token that you're only making available to one person, then that's probably not a security. But obviously, if you're doing a token offering, you're doing ICO, you're opening it up to a broad range of people. And in that case, that element is definitely met. So common enterprise, expectation of profits. So this one, I think, is the one that most people in this space have kind of uh, not necessarily attacked, but try to say that, our offerings, our tokens, aren't a security because our investors or people, acquiring the tokens don't expect to make a profit from it, right? So normally in a normal situation, obviously you're having some sort of money raising offering out there. Of course, there's going to be an expectation of profits. Why else would the investor be buying the security or the instrument unless they wanted to make a profit off of it? Obviously, if you're doing something like Kickstarter, where the investor is expecting, not a profit but the end product, that's not a security, right? So similarly, when you're doing a token offering, if the end receiver of the token is buying it for some other reason, not to expect a profit, then it wouldn't be a security, right? So I think the most common thing that we've seen in the crypto space is the use of utility tokens. So utility tokens are basically a crypto coin that has some other use besides currency, right? So it's not just um, you're not buying the token to sit on it and hope it increases in value, right? The token is actually used by the company issuing the tokens. So an example would be, like if Uber came out with their own token, and um, the only way to use Uber would to be through the use of these Uber tokens. You pay your drivers in Uber tokens, and that's the only use that these tokens have. In that case, because of the use of the token is way more important than the actual value of the token itself, that might not qualify as a security. But I mean, it's super, fact dependent and dependent on, a lot of things, right? The intent of the investors, the intent of the company selling the tokens, right? If the overall intent is to raise money and to tie some sort of profit seeking motive to the creation of these tokens, then that element is probably met, and you're probably in the securities realm. And then obviously the last element is solely through the efforts of the promoter. That just basically means the investors, the people that are buying the tokens, they have no input into increasing the value of the investment, right? So there's the passive nature to it, and the people buying these tokens, they have no say in increasing the value of the tokens, right? It's all about how well the overall company is doing. That's what increases the value of the tokens. So I think 9 times out of 10, when you see a company doing an ICO or a token offering or whatever, it's probably going to be a security, right? The SEC has already kind of taken enforcement actions against companies out there and have made a pretty strong stance on it. Like, they will treat these as securities. Doesn't matter if you're calling it a token or not. So if that's the case and you're thinking about doing this, that's something you got to keep in mind is you're probably going to be in the securities realm, and you either have to register your tokens or find some sort of exemption. That's where our firm comes in. We specialize in the exemptions. So if you're thinking about doing a token offering, whether it be for your business or maybe you're thinking about doing a token offering related to real estate, that's something that's been brought up by a few people actually in our industry. Regardless, talk to a securities attorney, because you're probably going to need them to set up the offering, to set up the PPM and all the documents that you need for your investors. But anyways, that was my topic today, cryptocurrencies. Hope you guys enjoyed it, found it educational at least. Today is Thursday. I'm here always on Thursdays, so I feel like I say this every time, but today at noon, we got another great episode of TLG Talks. Today, Gene is interviewing, I have it right here. Let me take a look at my notes. He is interviewing Frank Rolfe. That is right. He is from Mobile Home Park University. They are actually the 5th largest mobile home park operators in the United States. So people, we get calls all the time about people that want to do mobile home park syndication. So if you're interested in that industry, definitely check out today's interview. That's going to be super, super informative for you. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to reach out wherever you can find us, email, call, go to our website, free consultations, whatever, reach out. But thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week.